Good evening folks, this is a little update video to show people the new and improved refurbished Japanese classic switchgear, which I've sent out to various countries of the world, to people who, like me, have had a few problems with the Royal Enfield stock switchgear. So what I'm doing now, since I've discovered PJ1 American formula, subject of a previous video, I'm now doing them in that finish. These are cast alloy switches, and as I've said in my previous video, the internals of them are streets ahead of anything that's in the stock switchgear. I know that plenty of people are happy with their plastic ones on the stock ones. My own switchgear was truly an abomination, and the starter button stopped working and the indicator switch made a crunching sound, and it was just horrible to use. So these are the refurbished switches, cast alloy, solid copper contacts inside, and I strip them down, as I showed in a previous video, into every single component, tiny little springs and ball bearings and detent things they call it, or I think they're called that, so you get a positive click when you push the buttons. The left hand side, as you can see, the functionality is the same. You've got your dip switch, your horn, indicators and the headlamp flasher. The right hand side has, on the FJ1200 switchgear, has the on off switch for the lights, which of course we don't have on the Interceptor. So that is a dummy switch. It doesn't do anything, but I think it kind of complements the left hand side, and there's a symmetry to it. It's got the headlamp, it's got the starter button on it, and it also has the kill switch, the engine kill switch. So I strip them down, clean them, and put new PVC sheathing on them, as you can see in that picture there. The PJ1, now I've discovered it, is just, that's the way to go on these. And that, you can see the dummy switch there, but it doesn't actually do anything. In order to use the right hand side, it's necessary to ditch the throttle push cable, which I and many other people have done. The stock pull cable will just go straight onto that switchgear, as does the throttle tube, so it's dead easy to do. The push cable, not only would it complicate things in terms of its length and the length of the inner cable and all that, but as I said in my previous video, I don't really rate push cables anyway. I just think there's something else waiting to go wrong. And the majority of motorbikes don't have them, they just have a pull cable. So if anybody wants to, or needs to replace their switchgear and is willing to get rid of their push cable, then this is the way to go in my opinion. There's a new block terminal on the end, and these next photos show the same switchgear on my own bike when I was using gloss paint, which I think is an inferior finish. It's pretty good, but it's not as good as the PJ1. So this is my own bike. So there you have it. There's the left hand side. As you can see, headlamp flasher, dip switch, an indicator. I know I go on about it, but the indicator switches they're just so good to use. The starter button, you get a positive click with a ball bearing and a spring when you press it in, and it really is a sort of different electrical experience. There's the right hand side, and I've had mine on for a long time now, and to be honest, it's just transformed the controls really. So that's the left hand side, resplendent with my new levers, and then we have the front, or the sort of front of it as you sit on the bike. You got the horn, indicator, dip switch and flasher, and there's I strip each individual switch, I take them out of the cast alloy shells and strip every single switch, new ball bearings in them, and clean the contacts, which are solid copper as I say, and there it is, there's the right hand side. There's my decorative switch, and my bike runs quite happily without its push cable. So if anybody is suffering the same sort of problems I did, and if you're considering getting rid of your stock switchgear, I think instead of spending 50 quid each on repeating the exercise with more Royal Enfield ones, I think this is the way to go. But anyway, I've got 2 full handlebar sets at the moment available. If anybody is interested, then just email me. My email address is in the description below. But as a mod, I really like it because I think it suits the bike, and it's got that symmetry to it as well. So there you have it. Take care on your bikes regardless of what switchgear you're using, and I'll post again soon with a fantastic mod I'm going to do. It's been suggested by somebody in comments on a previous video, and it was new to me, and I've had a look at it. Wow, it's going to be really, really good on my bike anyway, and I'll post about that in the next, well, hopefully it'll arrive in a couple of days. Next 2 or 3 days I'll do a video. So I'll speak to you then. Bye for now.